Hey everybody, how you doing? Joe McCall here, Real Estate Investing Mastery Podcast. And on this podcast episode, I'm actually going to play for you one of the recent wholesaling lease options coaching calls that I did. And you're going to get some really cool, helpful advice in this coaching call. And I'm also going to, one of the reasons why I wanted to play this for you was I had a special guest on, Claude Diamond. Claude Diamond is one of my original mentors that taught me a lot about sales and how to talk to sellers. So you're going to learn a lot. We actually did a role play where I pretended to be a homeowner and he was an investor. And you're going to learn some really cool stuff from that. And I answered a lot of people's questions and I started talking about different cool stuff. So enjoy this podcast. Also, listen, if you want some more information about my lease options course, I want you to go to a simple website, WLOwebinar.com, WLOwebinar.com. And watch my webinar, learn some things in there. I share with you in the webinar the 3 secrets to doing lease options. How to find seller leads, more seller leads than you can handle for free. How to sell your house or how to get properties under contract by giving the sellers whatever price they want. And I have a simple 1-page contract. I show that on there. And then also I talk about how to sell these houses lightning fast without even a buyer's list. So if you want to know more about that, go watch the webinar, WLOwebinar.com, and enjoy this coaching call as a podcast. All right? Thanks, guys. Welcome. This is my monthly wholesaling lease options coaching call. Glad you are here. And so what our goal is, I'm going to answer questions. And usually on these calls, I get a bunch of them. And so if I answer them real fast and I don't have any more, then I will see if anybody wants to raise their hand and talk about a specific deal you're working on, talk about some cool stuff that you're doing. Cool. So let's jump right in. Well, first, I want to give you guys a free resource here that I think you're going to like. If you go to the Real Estate Investing Mastery Podcast, let me share my screen with you guys. The Real Estate Investing Mastery Podcast, because you all listen to my podcast whenever it comes out, right? Do you all know what podcasts are? I've been doing this podcast since 2011. Since 2011. Claude Diamond is here. Hey, Claude, do you want to jump on? You want to jump on with me? Let me know. While Claude is responding, if you go to, y'all see my screen. Okay, good. Let me go to store. Let me go to podcast business and check this out. So this is the podcast and iTunes app. You can get this on a PC or on a Mac. It doesn't matter. And if you go out here to what's hot, usually I'm on this list. Oh, yeah. Who's your daddy? Look at that. Real Estate Investing Mastery Podcast right there. And I've been doing this podcast since 2011. I have over 700 episodes, but my count is only at 692 because sometimes I do special episodes like this one where it's called 2019 Direction of the Market and How to Position Yourself to Profit. But I want to tell you guys, you got to get my podcast, subscribe to it. Come here to iTunes and leave me a review too. I'd really appreciate it. But I just did a podcast with a guy, a couple lease option podcasts I want to talk about. I'm telling you guys, this is so important. Because what do podcasts do? I like the interviews because you start getting inspired. You hear this other guy do it. I just interviewed a lady today from Springfield, Missouri, that is doing student housing. She's buying houses with lease options, and she's turning around and renting them by the room to students on college campuses. But the way she's doing it is like brilliant. Very little management headaches. The parents are on the hook for the property. It's amazing. And so you only get that stuff on the Real Estate Investing Mastery podcast. So you can go to realestateinvestingmastery.com or go to Stitcher, go to iTunes, go to TuneIn, Google Play. I'm all there. I'm everywhere. All right. So look at all. I want to show. I'm proud of my reviews. I have 464 reviews. My average rating is there. Not bad. I do have 10 one-star reviews. Okay, so I just did an interview with a couple that I want to share with you. Number one right here, simple lease option negotiating tactics for lease option deals with Peter Conti. Peter Conti, some of you know him. He's written some books. I don't have any with me now, but Peter Conti was one of those guys when I was first getting started. I devoured his books, and super cool guy. And we did a podcast here with him just recently. You should listen to this. Really good negotiating tactics for lease option deals. He also has a free book that you can get if you go to, well, we talked about it on the podcast. If you go to freeleaseoptionbook.com, freeleaseoptionbook.com, you can get his book here. And it's a really, really good book. I'd recommend it. Free. I'm going to put this in the chat box of Zoom. Okay. Conti's book. And if you're watching this on Facebook, comment down below. And if I see enough love and likes, I will put the link in Facebook as well. freeleaseoptionbook.com. Okay. Also, on my podcast just recently, I interviewed, well, you got to watch this webinar too, by the way. The 2019 direction of the market and how to position yourself to profit. Besides a handsome picture of me, this was one of the best podcasts I've done in a long time. It was a webinar I did just talking about what to do in the market and how to position yourself to profit. And I broke up the Q&A in a separate video. You can download the transcript here as well. So get this podcast. I'm going to put this in the chat box as well. And if you're watching this on Facebook, if you want these links too, show me some love. Show me some love and type in, give me some thumbs up, some likes, and say I want the links, and I'll give them to you. Okay, I did another podcast I got two more. These were really, really good. I want to show them to you. I got some great feedback from this one. More Revenue, Fewer Deals by Will Denker. I interviewed him. Okay, load more posts. Here we go. Two podcasts I did with guys that are doing lease options. Chris Prefontaine, How to Invest in Lease Options Like a Pro, gave away a ton of information on that one. And I interviewed a guy named Matt Reed talking about some big lease option deals. So I'm going to give you the links to these two podcasts as well in the chat box. And if you're watching this later, you can get these by going to realestateinvestingmastery.com. Just some recent podcasts that I did. And also, one more thing, guys. Claude Diamond's on the call. And if you go to my podcast here and do a search for Claude, here we go. I've interviewed Claude. He's been on my podcast 4 or 5 times. Really fun. We did a debate about direct mail marketing. What about social media marketing? That was a good one. Episode 553. We did another one about social media marketing for real estate investors. Episode 146. We did some videos talking about our mastermind we did in Hawaii. We did a podcast, episode 110, called No Guts, No Glory. Your time and knowledge are valuable. We did another one, episode 109, Virtual Attraction Marketing. And then we did some many advantages and little risk of lease options. Making the first seller call, here's what to say. Claude, I can't believe I've had you on this many times. Episode 27, Conversations with a Mentor about Sales Techniques. Really good podcast. And then I even did my own podcast, something I learned from Claude. I recorded it while I was in my car. Episode 667, an awesome little voicemail trick. Are you curious to know what that one's about? I learned it from Claude. I'm going to put it there in the chat box as well. So here's the thing, guys. Go to realestateinvestingmastery.com, subscribe, get these podcasts. I come out with them 3 times a week now. You can get them on iTunes. I'm going to paste the links to these as well in the chat box. There's the iTunes link. Here's the Google Play link. Here's the Stitcher link. And here is the TuneIn radio link. You could even go, is my Alexa, play the Real Estate Investing Mastery podcast. Did you hear that? I have an explicit filter on Siri or on Alexa for podcasts. So it wouldn't play my podcast. But I don't cuss. I don't know why it thinks it has bad language. That is funny. What's going on, Claude? I can't hear you. Oh, you're muted. Oh, hold on a second here. Unmute. Are you there, Claude?
Yeah, I'm there. I was just reading this fascinating new book that I just happened to write.
Just like yesterday? Talk about that book, because it's really, really good book. Talk about it.
The Rules of Guts. I'm big on sales and everything. Hi, Joe. Happy New Year, by the way.
Claude, your hair is awesome.
I need a haircut, man. It's like a weed war here.
Look at my hair.
It's very nice. It's because you're riding that little 2-wheel thing all the time. That's probably it.
Yeah, my Segway.
Your Segway and everything. I wrote a book on the rules of the guts. You have rights in the sales process, the Godfather close. What do you truly sell? Never go to a meeting unless you're going to pick up a check or a contract. The 3 most important words in sales, I don't know.
Yes.
Mr. Prospect, do you want me to tell you the truth or just make you feel good today? So I wrote all these rules down. There's about 50 of them, and I put a lot of funny pictures and things in there, especially the Godfather close. I look like Marlon Brando and everything. But should I give these away today? Should I give these away to your listeners today?
Yes, of course. Where can we go to get it?
Anybody who goes to my webpage and mentions and says the word Joe is wonderful, and they go to my webpage, they click on free book today, I will send them a free digital copy of my book today. Okay.
So what is it?
I'll save them $100.
ClaudeDiamond.com.
ClaudeDiamond.com. There's a little on the top left. There's a little banner that says free book. Anybody who clicks that, I'll take care of. Oh, look, there it is. Click on that little thing that says free book, and I'll send them they will receive today only that free copy of the book. How's that for a New Year's gift?
I love it.
Yeah. Why do I do that, by the way? Do an analysis.
Why? Well, you're building goodwill and trust.
Exactly. I'm having how's 2019? I'm loving 2019, by the way.
December was really good for us.
My business is just, we did a deal this morning. Here, money and everything. We did a deal this morning. 32 minutes on the phone. First phone call, 32 minutes. And I got a contract and I got paid for a deal.
Beautiful.
I love that. I love this business.
Well, I brought Claude on because sales is the $1 million skill. And if you want to learn how to make money in this business, you need to learn sales. Okay. And that book that Claude was just talking about is some rules about guts. But in my course, you all know this, you've seen, I've interviewed Claude for some special bonus training sessions talking about sales skills, talking about what to say to sellers, how to position yourself. Because it's one thing, you can learn all the technical stuff to get your phone to ring, but if you don't know what to say to that seller, it doesn't do you any good. Right?
That's it. Isn't it the missing link when you think about it? I mean, we work on learning all these great strategies, lease purchasing, wholesaling, subject, all these great strategies, which we need to know. We need to understand the contracts. Then we need to do marketing. You're great at marketing and you have a wonderful system. But so we're smart as hell, know the strategies. We've got these leads. But now is the hard part. I had a lady this morning who spoke to me. She said, Claude, I know what I'm talking about and everything, but when I get on that, picking up that phone sometimes, I get a little butterflies in my stomach. And I said, you're not alone. We've all experienced that.
Yes.
And I think that's
totally.
what we,
and it comes with practice. Comes with practice. And I can't have you on my coaching call, Claude, without a role play.
Well, do you have references?
No, can we do a role play?
Pick one. Give me anything, whatever you want.
I'll be the homeowner.
Give me your hardest stall and objection.
Oh, I'll try, but I'm not usually good at that.
Or give whatever you want. You pick. It's up to you.
I'll be the homeowner. All right, you're going to be the investor. And you're just going to you see my house advertised as a for sale by owner on Zillow, and you call me up. Is that fair?
Sure.
Oh, by the way, guys, let me just show this to you real quick. You got to get this video that Claude and I did.
Oh, yeah.
We go to
how many views has that had? That's gone viral, Joe.
Well, if you go to cold call Claude Diamond, there's a video right here. It's 14 minutes long.
Look at all the views on that one.
47,000 views. This was a live call we did. Boy, I look so fat in this video. I hate it. But this was, that video. I think I was 30 pounds heavier in that video. I wasn't talking about you. I was talking about me. But, okay, I'm going to put it in the chat box. And again, those of you all watching on Facebook, if you want some love, give me some love, and I'll give you the link. So give me some likes, give me some comments, and share this video. But anyway, what we did is I had a lead. I had a phone number. And I didn't give Claude any information about this lead. I just gave him the phone number, and that was it. And he calls that seller up and gets a deal right from the phone on a cold call. And it's you got to listen to that. Really good.
Was a nice fellow. I was either very lucky or very good that day. I don't know which one.
Well, both. Philip, I am going to get to your questions here. But let's, because we got Claude on here.
Oh, good. A Claude and Joe role play. Say hello.
So I'm going to pretend to be a homeowner.
Okay.
And you call me. You're hungry, Claude. You want to make some money. You're just going to pick up the phone and start calling for sale by owners and landlords on Zillow and Craigslist.
Sure.
And,
sure.
I'm going to say, hello, this is Joe.
Yeah. Hey, Joe, I heard you have a problem over there.
A problem? What are you talking about?
You got that beautiful house on Maple Drive. I had to call you up. Forgive me. My name's Claude Diamond. How come that house hasn't sold yet in this very hot market right now?
Oh boy, that's a good question. But
give me a good answer.
I don't know. I mean, it's we're just trying to sell it, and we want to move on down south.
Oh, good for you. South is nice. It's warm and everything. Joe, you mind if I just ask you one or two quick questions? Maybe we can do business today. Is that all right?
Well, sure. Yeah. Are you interested in the house?
I don't know. I might be.
Are you a realtor? Are you a realtor? I'm not interested in listing.
What would you like me to be? I can be whatever you want. I can be tall, short. I can be a realtor, an investor. I can be. You tell me, what do you need right now to do business?
Well, I want to sell my house. So are you looking? Is this for yourself or?
Well, I think so. Yeah, it's just me. Is this your house though, Joe? You're the owner, and you're living in it currently.
Yeah. We've lived in it for 30 years.
Stay another 30. Why would you want to sell that nice house?
Well, we just want.
I don't understand. Why would you want to sell a house? 30 years. You got those little marks on the walls where the kids grew up and everything like that. You don't want to sell that house.
Well, it's not exactly, but we kind of need to. We're moving down south.
I understand that, but why would you leave a house from 30 years? It's probably free and clear and everything by now, right?
Well, I don't know. It's none of your business.
Well, I think it is, because I want to give you a lot of money today, so I'm going to need to know a little bit of information, right?
Well, no, we don't have a mortgage on it.
Thank you for sharing that with me. I know it was a personal question, but I'm taking copious notes right now, and I'm trying to find a way to solve your problem. But I'm still don't understand. Now, off the role play.
Yeah.
You didn't just wake up. I've got to find your motivation, your needs and greeds. I've got to find out why you didn't just wake up this morning and say, after 30 years, I'm going to sell my home and move to East Bumble, Florida. I've got to find those 3 to 6.
Hi, Claudia.
Psychological triggers. Joe said hello, Claudia.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm not looking. Hi, I didn't want to interrupt you guys. Bye.
Hi, Claudia. How much whiskey did you put in that coffee?
Oh no, this is tea.
Oh,
that's coming.
This is tea.
Yes,
okay.
In case of emergency, right?
And this is my to-go coffee. And
Okay.
I never put whiskey in any of this stuff. Oh my God.
You put Chardonnay in it.
No, not in coffee or tea. No.
But we digress, dude.
Bye, Claudia.
It's funny. I love these live videos we do.
Yeah.
They're so funny. But off the role play, I got to find your psychological triggers.
Yes.
If I can't get your needs and greeds, at least 3 to 6, I'm wasting my time with you. I've got to get to that, what we call in transactional analysis, adult to adult conversation. I got to get honesty between us two, not just a parent talking to a child, or you're trying to control me and I'm trying to control you. I want to have that nice mutual dialogue where you feel that maybe you can trust me.
Mm-hmm.
This is the essence of the gut sales method. Getting to these nice adult-to-adult conversations. So I get the information, I can make a determination, I can send you offers right away, or I can decide it's over.
Yeah.
And this is working. God gives us all 24 hours, but some of us can make money in that 24 hours, and some of us waste a lot of time. I want to talk to as many people every day. I think you use the rule of 5 just like I do. Can we speak to 5 people a day? But I want to make sure that I'm not wasting my natural resources on someone I can't do a deal or make money with.
Yeah. We're in business to make money when?
Today, baby. That's in the book.
It is.
That's in the new book, in the new gut sales book, which I'm giving away for free to anybody who goes to my webpage today. How about that?
ClaudeDiamond.com. Everybody
See how I slid that little thing, a segue right in there. Let's go back in.
Yes.
Let's go back in the role play. And I can derive more motivation from you or create some.
Yeah, I'm gonna. Well, we'll just go there. So, we're trying to sell it. We want to go down south to be closer to the kids.
Oh, that's wonderful. So, what did you must have a realtor or something like that, right?
No, we decided to just list it for sale by owner.
Oh, son of a gun. Well, you must have a strong business background in order to do that. So what about jobs and school and everything? You just woke up one morning and said, we're going to move down south? I'm just curious, Joe, because I've moved to a couple different places, and there was usually a reason, a job change or better environment or employment or something. What made you change and want to move on?
Well, we're retired. We just want to go down south to be closer.
How do you get that job? Retired? That's wonderful. Why don't you just move and keep both houses?
Well, it's too cold up here. You know, the winters and
those St. Louis summers, aren't they wonderful? Don't you have those giant mosquitoes and everything? And
well, yeah, we have a lot of good memories here, but we just want to get down south, be closer to the grandkids.
Okay, good. And is the winter, and you want to get down there like right now in early January or maybe April, May, or June? How soon do you want to see those grandkids and enjoy that warm East Bumble, Florida weather?
Well, we'll probably move after we sell the house.
Okay, you wouldn't want to sell it today, would you?
Well, if the prices was right, yeah.
What would you like? Tell me what you need. What's the fair price for your house today, Joe?
Well, Zillow says it's worth $190.
Okay.
We have it listed for $185.
Okay.
$185,000.
And is that your best price? What would be your best price if we were able to do business today? Bottom line this thing for me, Joe.
No, well, I mean, I'd give you a good deal.
Which means
buy it today. I could sell it for $180.
180. Okay. Well, that sounds fair, and I appreciate this because I just called you out of the blue here and everything. So you'd be willing to sell me your house today for 180. If I could give you a contract with that price, we could move forward. Or do you need to talk to Mrs. Prospect?
No, she would agree.
But why is that?
I'm not have to pay you any commissions or anything, right? Like.
I'm not a realtor. I'm in Colorado right now, and you're in Missouri. I don't have a license in your particular. Do we need a realtor, or can we just do this between you and I today?
Well, no, we don't. I don't like realtors.
Okay. So let me ask you this, sir. Okay, off the role play.
Yeah.
I did something. I wanted to find out not only the price, the time frame, the authority. You asked you, is your wife part of the decision? And you said, no, I'm a real man. I make that decision, something like that. Did you see all the stuff I got out of you in just that short discourse?
Yeah, you're asking a lot of questions.
I'm asking questions, and I'm trying to keep it very, what I call familiar, friendly, stroking, nurturing, and empathy are the three psychological reasons. Cialdini talks a lot about that, The Psychology of Persuasion. Great book, great video on YouTube. It's free. And there's reasons why people can do deals today. I do deals, I learned this from my mentor, I do deals in one phone call. I get a commitment, an appointment, a contract, or I get out in one phone call.
Yeah.
I don't do too much back and forth stuff.
Yeah.
Because I want to look for that guy who's so emotionally involved, so motivated. Well,
you'll still send something in the mail sometimes for follow-up, right?
Oh, I will. No matter who I speak to, I send either an audio or a video communication. I make it very personal. A letter of intent, which I know you train your people to do, or a contract as something. And I also have a follow-up system. You use Podio, I use Evernote to follow up. If I can't do business today, maybe I can do business in 30 days. The follow-up is very important. So back to the deal again, because you gave me a clue how to close you. Can I close you now?
Yeah.
Okay, back in the role. I hope people are enjoying this. I love this stuff.
I don't care if they aren't. This is good.
So let me ask.
I didn't. That sounded mean. I'm sorry. But if you're not enjoying this, then you got to get your head in the right space.
Here you go. Here you go. I'm going to give you an injection here.
You need to, because this is really good stuff. Learning how to talk to sellers and negotiate. Sales is the $1 million skill, guys. If you want to learn how to do more deals and make more money, learn how to talk to sellers. Okay.
Contract this morning, just using guts. It's the million. It makes you know what it gives? You know what sales gives us when we have mastered it and we practice it? It gives us freedom. It gives us the freedom and the confidence to know that we can do a deal anywhere.
Yep.
And this
on
is
the phone, virtually. You don't have to go see the house.
I know what a house looks like. I don't want to take tours of houses. I want to make money today. Back in the role play.
Yeah.
So let me ask you, Joe, you want to move? You want to take the kids? You want to see the grandkids down there? You want to get into a warmer climate? And you're ready for a retirement? God bless you. You worked hard all your life. I'm going to make you an offer with one consideration. I'll give you your full price. I'll give you some cash up front to move to your house, but I want you to hold the mortgage for 60 months. And I will give you I will give you your 180. If you hold the mortgage, I can either do that and we can close and sell on this property. I'll give you a balloon at the end of the 60th month. Or we could would you be comfortable with that if I was to send you an agreement today in the next 30 minutes? And I'll give you full price. I'll give you some cash up front. And we don't have to use a realtor. And you and your wife can live happily ever after and move to East Bumble, Florida.
Boy, I wasn't expecting to seller finance. I'd kind of like to have all my cash now so we can.
Well, think about it this way. If you got some money today and you got an annuity, like a payment every month on time, you have the security of your own house, you'll have a lien on it and everything else. And in 60 months, less than 5 years, you will get a monster check. But every month you will get a nice check from me so that you can pay for your groceries, whatever you need. And this house is sold for your asking price. Without a realtor, and we can do this today. It's okay to say no to me, but I'd love to. I've made a decision. I want to do this deal today, subject to an inspection and a title check.
Well, what kind of money are we talking about? Like, how much would you give us down up front?
You tell me. Would you like 5,000, 6,000? You tell me. What's good for you today?
Well, I just
made a mistake off the role play. I just made a big mistake, by the way.
You gave the
Did
numbers.
anyone pick it up? I did it on purpose. What was my mistake?
You gave the numbers.
First to mention price always
loses.
Yeah, and I did that on purpose. I wanted to see if anyone picked that up. Okay, so let's go back in. I could give you $5,000 today. I could give you $5,000, Joe, if we can do the paperwork and subject to the inspection and everything. I'm ready to rock and roll.
Boy, I've never. This is all completely new to me. I don't know if I. Can you just? I think I need to review the numbers and think about it.
I think, you know what? I'm glad you're taking an interest in it, and you're not allowed to think about it past 6:30 today. Is that all right?
Why is that?
Because I'm an impatient investor. When I make an offer, I make it, And I'll tell you what I will do. I will send you an offer, a letter of intent, or no, I'll send you a full contract. You and your wife, your attorney, talk over whoever you want. Let's make an appointment to get back here on Zillow at 4:30 this afternoon. And God bless you if you say no to me, but I hope you say yes and your problems are solved. Can we make that agreement for 4:30 today?
Well, maybe. Let's talk about the
Not
numbers.
maybe. Yes
quick.
or no, please.
Well, what kind of numbers are we talking about? Like,
I gave them to you already. Weren't you listening?
what interest rate can I get?
I was going to make principal only payments.
Well,
You're getting your full price without real estate commission. I'll give you $5,000 down. And how does $1,000 a month annuity sound for 60 months? That'll be $60,000 in your pocket over 5 years with the balloon at the balance at the end.
$1,000 a month. Well, I guess I can talk to my wife about it. Can you
Let me talk to mine. Honey, is it okay if I give Joe and Mrs. Joe full price on their property so they can move to Florida? My wife said yes. You check with your lovely bride.
Okay, well, why don't you send me something over and I'll look at it with my wife and we'll talk. This is just new to me. I've not really thought about owner financing before.
It's real simple. It's very straightforward. You still have your house as security. You're getting your price. You're saving 6% on your house, which would be about another what, $9,000. What did you say? 180. So what is that? That's $10,000 you're saving right there. And I'll tell you what, if we can make a commitment at 4:30 today, I'll pick up the closing costs.
All right. Well, send me what you got. And
Are we agreed on 4:30 on Zoom today, sir? Because I have to change some appointments around.
4:30. Okay, we'll talk at 4:30 today.
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah, we'll talk at 4:30 today.
Okay, you're a gentleman. You're a man of your word. I can take that to any bank and cash it, right?
Yeah.
Okay, see you at 4:30.
All right.
Boom.
So that was pretty hard. And were you doing that because I really didn't have much motivation? If I would have shown more signs of motivation, you might not have been as hard and trying to take it or leave it right now, right?
Well, I had the feeling on a 1 through 10, we call it the Claude barometer, 10 meaning urgent, motivated. I didn't get a strong sense of urgency or motivation from you. I'd probably give you a score of maybe between 3 to 5 at best.
I was trying to do a 3.
A 3. You were a healthy 3. Okay, so I have to be the authority figure, and I have to come across as the doctor in the room. I've got to be that authority figure. So, hey, I want to meet you at 4:30. You're not allowed to think about it. I'm talking to you as an adult to an adult, or not a parent to a child. I wanted to stay in control, and I want to be very firm and explicit.
Yeah. Well, that was good. Yeah. Why owner financing and not lease purchase? Why did you go the owner financing route?
Because you said something very magical to me early on. I don't know if who's ever typed in that question. You got to be a good listener. What did you say that made me make that offer, as opposed to a lease purchase?
I don't remember. I think as I was moving down south, I'm older.
About the mortgage, you said. I believe. Mortgage. Yes, I believe you said early on it's free and clear. It's paid off.
You're right.
When I hear that, now how easy is it for me? I could have done a lease purchase, but when somebody says they have a low or no mortgage, I want ownership and I want control of the financing. Why? Because I can call up. Let me call up. Can I do one really quick call? You're Joe the investor.
Okay.
Hi, Joe the investor. How are you?
Yo, yo, yo.
Joe, how would you like to make a lot of money today?
I'd love that. I
just got a contract with Joe, your clone, the other Joe. He's going to hold a mortgage on a beautiful property in a luxurious neighborhood in St. Louis, and he's going to hold the whole mortgage for it. I have $5,000 down, $1,000 a month. You can rent it. You can rent to own it, and you won't need a bank and 20 attorneys. How would you like a property that's easy to get into today and make yourself a really good rental on this?
Yeah, I'm interested. What do I need to do to get it?
I'll sell you this contract. I've got a contract here. I put $5,000 down. I'll need another $5,000 for my skin in the game, and we can do a deal today. And you've got a beautiful property with no bank, no 20% down, and I can show you how to rent to own it, or do whatever you want with it. How would you like a good home in a great neighborhood that'll probably make you $500 or more a month? $6,000 a year.
Send me the address and the details, and I'll look at it.
I'll send you a prospectus right now. Can you get back to me in the next 60 minutes? Because I got a lot of people I'm calling on this.
Boy, I'm tied up. I got another meeting.
It's okay to say no to me, but someone's going to make a lot of money today, Joe. I was hoping it would be you.
Can I get back to you in like 3 hours?
It might be gone then. I mean, sure, call me in 3 hours, but I got to tell you right now, I'm in the mood to move this property right now.
Okay, all right, yeah, send it to me. I'll take a look at it.
Get back to me as soon as you can, but 3 hours at the most, right?
Okay.
Bye.
I love that, guys. Did you catch the deadlines? Like, you're always giving deadlines to the sellers of if you're going to send them something, you got to give them a deadline of what you're expecting back.
Exactly.
That's really good.
This was fun. Hey, thank you. I've got to do some contracts here, real world.
Okay.
But this was fun.
Good.
Thank you for being inviting me over. You're always such a great host.
Thank you for coming, Claude. Appreciate it, guys. Again, if you want Claude's Guts book, it's go to claudediamond.com, claudediamond.com.
Just click on free book. I'll send this to you today. And this is one of the best books. Do you have a copy, Joe? I'll send you one.
I got your main Guts book. So
this is the new one.
Okay, yeah. I need it.
See you later. Thanks, everybody. That was fun, Joe. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Take care.
Awesome. Claude is a sales master training guy. Been in the business a long time, helped me get started. And I've interviewed him in my course. We have some really good sales training materials in the course from Claude. And I hope you guys got appreciated a little bit of that role playing. So I'm going to go through the questions now. There's a lot of you guys have been submitting them. And thank you, Terry. Okay. This is from Philip. I had somebody get angry with me about my low cash offer. Do you include a cash offer with every letter of intent? The person I sent this to happens to be a realtor who owns the property. Well, if they get mad, who cares? Like, you got to be like a duck with water on the back, right? Just people are going to get mad. In fact, if you don't make enough people mad, then you're doing something wrong. You're offering way too much money. So when you're making cash offers, if you don't feel like the sick feeling in your stomach of nervousness, then you're offering way too much, right? So that's a badge of honor to get an angry seller with, okay? 1 out of 100 will ever even accept your cash offer. So that's okay. Maybe not out of 100, but 1 out of 30. Number 2. So do I include in the cash offer? It depends. Like, I'll send a cash offer if it's a cold lead. I'll send them a cash offer and a lease option offer. If it's a warm lead and there's good equity and there's cash flow, if it's a warm to hot lead and I want to do a lease option on it, I'm only going to send them a lease option offer. So I hope that answers your question. The other question from Philip. In the week 5 module in the second video talking about contracts, you mentioned the tenant buyer using the option deposit for their down payment. I was under the impression that the option consideration was a fee that was not going to be applied to the purchase price, nor would it be applied to the down payment. Can you elaborate a little bit more on that? Yes. So none of our paperwork guarantees that option money will be applied towards their down payment. But if you use an escrow company like we recommend, and if you're using a good mortgage broker like the ones I recommend in the course, they can get that money applied towards the down payment later on when that tenant buyer gets their financing. Can't guarantee it or promise it, but at least it'll go to reducing the price of the home if you're working with the right mortgage broker. And if that tenant buyer originally wrote that option deposit out to an escrow company, so it's not made out to you, the Joe Blow investor, it's made out to an escrow company, then that money potentially can be applied towards a down payment as long as the mortgage broker knows what they're doing. Does that make sense? I talk about that a lot in the course. So whether it's a sandwich lease option or a wholesaling lease option deal, it's the same. That option money up front goes to the escrow company, okay? When that tenant buyer gets their financing, they're going to show a check made out to an escrow company 2 years earlier. And there may have to be some new paperwork that gets done, but the mortgage broker takes care of that. When will I have REI Simple? My new CRM called REI Simple is coming out in the next 1 to 2 weeks. I'm excited about it. It's going to be really cool. Working on the finishing touches. It's only going to be available for students who have my course or my coaching program. But it's a CRM that's been customized for lease options, and I'm excited about it. Where do we get the recorded coaching calls? They're in the membership site. I gave you guys the links there. I'm looking at the chat. How do you respond to a seller when they say they would consider a lease option if the down payment was large enough? So I would say to them, this is probably not going to work for you. I get paid. I make my money from the option deposit money that I collect from my buyer. So the other thing I might say is, well, how much money are you looking to get from the deal, right? If they tell me that they want 5 to 10%, they are not motivated enough, okay? Plain and simple. You say, listen, it's probably not going to work for you, and that's totally fine. Why don't I just send you some information, you look it over, and if circumstances change or you change your mind, then we can talk. You got to be pulling away. You got to play the role of the reluctant buyer. You want to get them to sell you on their home. You're the one asking the questions. So if they tell you they want more option deposit money, then you just need to walk away and tell them, I'm sorry, it's not going to work for you or me. Why don't you just list it with a realtor? Which, by the way, if you list it with a realtor, you want $200,000 for it, you're going to pay that agent a $12,000 commission. Where will this great webinar be available for rewatching? Ronnie, this is our coaching call, so it'll be in the Wholesaling Lease Options membership site. Cool. Don is asking, will REI Simple handle other strategies like wholesaling and flipping and cash deals? Yes. Yes. So what it is, well, yeah, it will. Let me go to the Q&A that was typed in here. Would it make sense to get a VA to do cold calls if we've never done cold calling before? 100% yes. We have VAs that do our cold calling for us. Thanks, Ralph, for the kind words. Oops, excuse me, sorry. Is Wholesaling 101 still applicable? Yes, so Wholesaling 101 is a free course that we have. If you go to YouTube and do a search for Joe McCall, Wholesaling 101, or you go to flipmindmap.com, flipmindmap.com. I'll type that in the chat box. Flipmindmap.com. You get Wholesaling 101 there, and that's a free course that I created with Gavin. And you'll also get the mind map, and in the mind map, we give away all of our contracts and scripts and marketing pieces. Luis, talking to 5 sellers a day and making 3 to 5 offers will get her done? You bet. Eventually. Lilia, if I need to find a local mortgage broker to work with my tenant buyers, what questions should I ask? What should they understand about our option money that we keep as investors? In the course, I have a list of questions that you can ask mortgage brokers. But basically, you're looking for a mortgage broker that, number one, is willing to work with credit-challenged people to help them rebuild their credit. And number two, you want to make sure they are familiar with lease options. And I would ask them, I'd say, listen, I'm going to use an escrow company, and that tenant buyer is going to put their money, send their money to the escrow company. The escrow company, when that tenant moves in, is going to then send me my assignment fee. Do you know banks that will still work with you and let that money be applied towards their future down payment? They should know the answer to that. If they say, I don't know, or that sounds weird, that's fishy, then find another one. Okay? And in my course, I give you a guy that I recommend for mortgages. And there's also, he works with that guy, Paul Ritter, from prequalteam.com. Prequal, I'm going to put this in the chat box. Prequalteam.com. .com. Another question from Lilia. If a house needs some work and the seller is willing to lower the price, taking in consideration for repairs, how do I present it to the tenant buyers and how to be certain they will do the repairs needed if I give them a discount? So if it's a property that needs work, let's say as an example, the house is worth $200,000 fixed up. It needs about 20 grand in work. So its as is value is about 180. That's where I start from. I'm going to start at 180. And if I make a sandwich lease option offer, I'm going to do 85% of 180. Then when I turn around and I advertise it as a lease option, I'm going to advertise it as a handyman special lease option. And you have two choices. You could advertise it as $200,000 with a $20,000 work for equity credit. The simplest thing to do is just advertise it as a lease option for $180,000. And in the lease and the lease option paperwork, you need to write on there the list of the work that they need to do. Okay. The second thing is you need to, depending on if your municipality or city or county has inspections, right? What's the word I'm looking for? My mind's blank. Residency inspections. I can't think of the word right now. But occupancy inspections. So you have to make sure that tenant buyer, they start paying rent on day one. You're not going to charge them rent after the repairs are done. They have to start paying rent day one, but they have to get the city, if they have to rehab it enough to get it to pass occupancy inspection from the city before they can move in. Does that make sense? So just write it out in the lease option agreement. What I've done is I've written down all the work that needs to be done before they move in, and then I made a list of all the work that has to be done after they move in. Daryl. Daryl is asking, can you comment on the girl that does lease options and does it with email only? She picks a city randomly. How does she close a deal? You mentioned mobile notaries. What else? Do you use realtors? So this was a student of mine who every week would randomly pick a new market, just send emails and texts, and would do lease option deals by email only because she had little kids and she couldn't talk on the phone. The kids were too loud. So what she'd do is she would do it electronically. She would send them, she'd use like DocuSign for electronic signatures. And then once she got it under contract, she would find a local leasing agent / realtor to help her market the home. So if she needed to get pictures and the seller couldn't take the pictures and send them to her, she'd find a local realtor, a leasing agent, and would then pay that leasing agent usually 1 month's rent. And that if she needed boots on the ground, that's who she would use. I would not typically use a mobile notary unless it's a cash deal or a sandwich lease option deal. If it's just a lease option assignment, electronic signatures are fine. And REI Simple has electronic signatures, which is pretty cool. Do I need to have a registered business in Georgia if I want to do business there? I live in Virginia. No. So, I mean, I'm not an attorney. I'm not giving legal advice. Talk to an attorney, get their advice on that. But attorneys that I've talked to and me, I've done deals. I have a LLC in Missouri, and I do deals all over the country. Doesn't matter. What steps do you take to do wholesaling lease option deals virtually? I don't have enough time to answer that, and that's why I created the course, Terry. There's nothing different. If you can do deals in one market, there's no reason why you can't do deals in 8. The same things apply. You get on the phone, you talk to sellers. When hiring a realtor, how do they get paid? I usually pay them half of 1 month's rent to $1,000. And I don't know how I get paid. Every realtor is different. Their brokers are different. They have different rules. So I just tell them, I'll pay you this. We're going to use my paperwork. You don't have to list it on the MLS. If you want me to sign some listing commission agreement or whatever, fine, give it to me and I'll sign it. But that's how it is. And I'll pay you when we find a tenant buyer for the house. Can you suggest, again, the escrow company to use? The escrow company right now that I'm recommending is escrowserv.com. It's escrowserv.com. I put it in the chat box, escrowserv.com. They're out of Louisiana. You can also try Avalon Escrow, but they're kind of restructuring a lot of things there, and I'm not sure that they're open for business. escrowserve.com is. Is the option money a percentage of the price that you give, or is it a set amount of $5,000? Usually I'm trying to get 3 to 5% option money, but I do have a minimum target that I want to get. So if I don't make at least $4,000 or $5,000 on the deal, then I'm not interested. Can I fill out the residential lease option agreement myself, or do I give it to my tenant buyer? So when I'm filling out paperwork, I fill it out first and I don't sign it. And then I send it to the seller or the tenant buyer to sign. Sometimes if we're in person, they'll sign it and then I sign it. Who is the attorney? Excuse me. Who is the attorney that works with Paul Ritter? Have you worked with them too? I don't know who the attorney is that's worked with Paul Ritter. I don't know who that is. So I've not worked with them. Okay, so then I'm going to go back here to the chat. What is the pre-qual team? Pre-qual team is a credit repair company that also pre-screens tenants, that also works with a mortgage broker out of Minneapolis, Jesse. So they kind of have a team, and so that I suggest them. I do still work with Landlord Tenant Services, LTS. They've been pre-screening my tenants for a long, long time. It's Landlord Tenant Services. You can find them at ltservices.us, ltservices.us. I just put that in the chat box as well. What if would you offer down payment to the seller? What's the most I would offer to a seller on a lease option deal? Usually if it's a lease option assignment, just $100. If it's a sandwich lease option, depending on the numbers, usually just $1,000. But I mean, I might give them $2,000 if it's a really sweet smoking hot deal. I might give them $5,000. It's a really good smoking hot deal. But when do I give them that money? When I find the tenant buyer. So it's not money out of my pocket. I'm still looking at questions here. And I answered them. Nice. Okay, good question from Terry here. The FHA has strict requirements to get loans approved. Yes, they do. Do they have an inspection list available to know their requirements? So that's a great question for a mortgage broker. When you're really doing this seriously with lease options, you need to become friends with mortgage brokers, local mortgage broker, and ask them, what are FHA requirements? Why do you want a mortgage broker on your team? Because you want to know what the current requirements are. You can't predict what the market will be in the future, but like based on the current requirements today, this tenant buyer that I have who's interested in this house, do they have a realistic chance in 12 to 24 months to get a mortgage? Can they afford the house? Is their debt to income ratio in line? What does their credit look like? What do they need to do to fix their credit? Do they have any judgments or things that will take 30 years to fix or take care of? So you need to figure that stuff out in advance. I don't understand your question, Luis. All right, any other questions, guys? I just have 2 more minutes. Does your document have a clause that allows me as an investor to walk away from the deal? Yes. So if you're doing a sandwich lease option, it renews. It's a 5-year lease option, but it renews every year. So you don't have to renew it if you don't want. And second, there's also a clause in there with a 60-day advance notice to the seller, you could walk away. But I wouldn't do that, only on rare circumstances. And I would only do it if I had a tenant in the house that was paying rent. So instead of sending the rent to me, I'd have the tenant send the rent to the seller. How do you find out, or how do you locate sellers that have mortgages from FHA or VA? Good question. Let me show you, and this will be our last question, okay? You've heard me talk about PropStream. PropStreamJoe.com. Everybody go to PropStreamJoe.com. PropStream is amazing. I use it every day. It's just incredible. And I'm going to put this in the chat box as well. I'm going to show you how to get a list. They'll let you export 10,000 records a month. I was paying literally, guys, $350, $400 a month for what I'm paying, just $97 a month with PropStream. If you go to PropStreamJoe.com, use that link, they will let you export up to 1,000 or 5,000 records in a day. With the normal account, you can only export, I think, like 500. So if you want to export 5,000, then you need to get my link. So if you go to PropStreamJoe.com, check it out. And I'm going to show you what it does that gets me so excited. I'm going to log into my account here. Close your eyes. You don't want to see my password. Just kidding. Again, PropStreamJoe.com. You get a free 7-day trial. You can export up to 10,000 records a month, which is 1 cent a record. Let's say one of my favorite zip codes, 63033. And I want to mark it to, this is a good blue collar neighborhood. Just in this zip code right here, I have 846 properties that have liens on them, 476 that are vacant. I have free and clear. There are 6,000 free and clear properties here. So what I want to do, if I'm looking for target, I want to send a letter to sellers that bought their house between 5 to 7, let's do 3 to 7 years ago, that have FHA or VA loans. Why is that? Most people move every 5 years, and FHA VA financing, you only need either 0 or like 3.5% down. And if it's a house that was where they could borrow FHA VA financing, it's a median priced home in the good zip code. So I'm going to do owner occupied, yes. I'm going to do property characteristics. I'm going to do single family. I want to make sure it's at least 3 bedrooms. You can see my count here. There's 10,000. I'm going to go to ownership info. Years of ownership. I want to do at least minimum of 3, maximum 7. All right, there's 2,000. And I want to go here to lien type. No, it's not there. Here it is, equity and mortgage info, loan type. I'm going to do VA, FHA. Oh, baby. Look at that. Now, if I wanted to, I mean, already I know if a VA or FHA is going to lend money on this deal, then this is great. These are properties that don't have a lot of equity on them because they only put down 0 to 3.5% down. Now, they're estimating some equity in these things because there's been some appreciation, but some of them are very thin. So then what you do, you take this, you export it. And here's another cool thing. You want to see something else that's really cool? Check this out. I'm going to go and I'm going to say MLS status. I want to find all the properties that are actively listed on the MLS right now. And there's 1. Not a lot. But what if I did this? What if I wanted to offer owner financing to properties that are listed on the MLS to free and clear homes? Right? What if I went here to loan type? I'm going to just uncheck that. And so I'm going to do years of ownership. I don't care about that. Well, I wanted to own it for at least 10 years. Okay. I'm going to go MLS status, active. All right. Then I'm going to go here to list. I want to do free and clear. Ooh, look at that. In just that zip code, there's 3 properties that are right now listed on the MLS that are free and clear, have no mortgage on them. I can click on this one, for example. I can go to mortgage information. There's no mortgage. At property details, this was listed in September. It's still available. Here's the realtor. Now, I could send a offer to the realtor, but you know what? I'd rather deal directly with the seller. So why not send them a letter? And guess what? I have the address to the owner right there. Sometimes if it's an absentee owner, you'll have different addresses there, so you can send it to them. Here you can get good comps, really good comps on the property. Let's say you get it under contract. Right here, you can get 150 cash buyers that are around there that are investors. You can maybe sell it to some of them. This is, it's just amazing. You get so much information on this property. You can see it was last sold in 2005. through a divorce, looks like. And it was gifted to somebody in 2000. You could also go here back to this filter, and I could say years of ownership. I could just say, well, if they have to own it at least 2 years. There's 8 properties. I did this once. Oh man, I'm late for my other call. I got to go, guys. I forgot. I appreciate y'all. If you want to get PropStream, I really recommend it. Again, PropStreamJoe.com, PropStreamJoe.com. And you get amazing property detail records and lists that you can't get anywhere else. It's only $97 a month. And you can export 10,000 records. If you use my link, then you can do 5,000 at one time. Okay, got to go. I'm late for my other call. Appreciate you all very much. We'll see you.